Deep inside, deep down inside. That's what Barbara Tucker was hollering about. You're deep inside with devil tongue. You're deep inside with devil tongue.
Oh, and Phantom Mother. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back into this. You know what I'm saying? I've been so out of it for a while. I am so sorry.
Spreaker.com. www.spreaker.com.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
Maybe I need to call Phantom and wake her up. 347-954-6296. That's 347-954-6296. devil.tongue@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, Spreaker, Skype, whatever platform I'm forgetting.
Email.
No, I said email.
Twitter.
I said Twitter. I said Instagram. I said Skype. Facebook, of course.
Facebook.
You know, Snow-Blasio. I'm not giving any shout-outs to the mayor because way back when, way back in the day, I'm talking the 70s. I'm talking the 80s.
We're talking about Mayor Koch.
I'm talking
and
that.
Lady Dinkins.
I'm talking that it had to be 2 3/4 feet of snow for them to even think about closing.
Not even. It had to be like really, really bad.
Yeah, it had to be really bad.
No, like 2 feet is like.
No, 2 feet we still function.
I know, but nah, it had to be like 4 feet. You know what I'm saying? It had to be blizzard. It had to be, whatever Minnesota was getting and New York was getting. Yo, then we could recognize and start shutting down stuff.
And now 6 inches and they shutting the schools down. Well, I don't understand that logic.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what happened. To make a long story short, last year sometime, I don't know, December, November, we were supposed to get snow, and they were like, "Oh, it's only be a few inches," and it was a few feet, and nobody was prepared for it. And so Mayor de Blasio said to I guess his peoples and said basically, you know what, to make long story short, I'd rather be safe than sorry. That's it. That ended up pissing people off. Now, and I said, you know what? It's a no-win situation. Now, I'm not for or against de Blasio, but I feel that the decision he made was a good one and was conscious. You know what I'm saying? He was thinking about everybody. I mean, really, he was really thinking about the kids because the kids was really the ones that had the day off. And the parents were up there, scrambling, whatever, which is, bad for the parents. I know that. But my man was, it'd rather be safe than sorry.
I'm gonna say this again.
Granted, it was hardly nothing out there. I get it. But, you know what I'm saying? I guess it was like, listen, I don't want another thing that happened last year again. And that's what happened.
Shout out to Jeep. Yes, I am an SUV owner. I love my Jeep. And I will be going to the New York Auto Show to look at the new Grand Cherokees.
Oh,
but despite that.
Go. Why are you even advertising them? Go.
What do you mean? I'm looking for sponsors. Anyway, we're looking for sponsors. Yes, Jeep, we're calling you out. The fact of the matter is that New York City, okay, and Boston and probably Chicago, we can function in 2 feet of snow. We can function in a foot of snow. All this closing schools because we're being cautious. And so abundance of caution is, to say the least, bull.
You can't make everybody happy. That's it. You can't make everybody happy. You can't. Because you know what? Somebody's going to complain somewhere. Okay?
Right.
Like you. You thought it was garbage. Other people thought it was like it was the right thing that he did. I mean, to me personally, I really don't care here nor there. But, you know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. So it's like, it is what it is. I mean, now it's going in past or whatever, but I get it.
The thing is that New York City is not Long Island, Westchester. We can function in 6 inches of snow. And unless the weather people forecast it wrong, my thing is I appreciate the alternate side suspension, but for you to shut down school because you're being overly cautious, I don't know.
Well, you better be careful you don't see no kids out there because you might get jumped. Just giving you, a little bit of a warning there.
Devil Tongue ain't afraid of no little.
Ain't little. Them some high school kids, and they be on a football team. Okay, so I'm looking at them kids. Okay, I ain't looking at the lanky basketball player. I'm looking at that big quarterback. All right.
I guess so.
Okay.
And there's been other issues going on. Like most recently. Today,
Gayle King and R. Kelly story.
Today is March 7th?
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah.
Most recently, what's happened in the news with R. Kelly?
Yeah, I just said that.
Let me say this.
What are you gonna say?
It reeks. Okay, it stinks to high holy heaven.
Why did it look like he was performing? Like he was like, what it sounded like? I mean, like, my man looked like in the closet, like he was like performing, like in the closet in the seat, and then he was doing the robot, like he was doing the dance. I was like, yo, what are we doing? Like, it was like he was doing a performance for us, live, or I don't know if it was live, but with Gayle King. And then had the nerve to get dramatic as he stood up and was like, oh my goodness, like clutching his pearls if he had a pair. Oh my goodness, how you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? I'm like, get the heck out of here.
We can't even blame the Me Too movement on this one.
There's no Me Too on that.
R. Kelly has been, should we say, sought after for a very long time based on his abuses, plural.
Fetishes.
We could touch on really fast, the relationship. Girls. Not women.
Well, no. You made it seem like he's been targeting girls. No. He's been preying. Okay? He is like a predator. That's what he wants. It's not like, if you're over the age of 18, do not apply. Okay? That's like on his application. Okay? Do not apply. All right? Now, supposedly he got 2 girlfriends. How you got 2 girlfriends, okay, and they sitting right next to each other talking to Gayle King, and they up there crying like, oh my goodness, R. Kelly, are you really?
Because there is some brainwashing there. There is some, but
ain't some, it's a lot.
But the fact that he has those 2 women in his corner, these aren't women who, let's say, are the same age as R. Kelly, who's in his 50s.
No, he's not. And guess what? Some woman when he was in jail the first time, some woman gave him money for his bail.
Now, I want to take a sidebar to that.
Go.
You're a platinum selling artist. You've been in the game, the business, over 2 decades. Mm-hmm. How is it that you don't have money to pay your bail? Forget about the arrears of child support.
Go.
Forget about that.
Go.
Because
I got the answer.
Because I'm gonna get to your answer in a minute, Phantom. My attitude is simple. You may not have the money for the child support, but then that means you got the money for your bail, correct? I'm just saying.
Correct. But guess what?
What?
I found out. Because see, I'm not really into like the record, like the record business and stuff like that. But I do my homework and I do find out things, right? So I found out what happened. Now, what happened is that that's why certain artists who, like right now, when you see certain artists when they're performing and stuff like that, and they're older generation, like, they're probably around in the 80s and they were big, but now they're like doing tours as older groups or whatever, because now they're collecting that money to themselves. What happened is that R. Kelly could have sold his masters, he could have sold his publishing, he probably never owned not a piece of his own music. So what happened is that when you hear "Stop in the Name of Love," he ain't getting paid. Whoever owns that is getting paid. So he probably relinquished or was so busy getting the money up front, like the person was explaining, was that a lot of artists, you broke as hell and you're making all this money, but you're not looking long term. You're looking at right now. So right now they're saying, yo, we'll give you $500,000 for your music right now, whatever like that. And a lot of them take it. Not realizing that if you kept the rights to it or had partial ownership, you will get a cut of that check. So what ends up happening is saying, I don't know if it's Sony or not. I don't want to put it out there like that. But supposedly Sony owns all his music. So anything that gets played, Sony's getting paid off of it. So he's technically getting no money because whoever was his lawyer, his manager, whatever, screwed him good in the end. That's why he's out there touring. Because think about it. Why there are certain people who love to tour and do it because they love the fans or whatever. And there's some people who have to do it because they have to maintain a certain lifestyle they were used to and realize, yo, I'm not getting that, the royalty checks that I'm supposed to get because I signed off on those royalty checks. I forgot about the royalty checks. No one didn't offer me the royalty check, check box for me to do, when I was talking to my lawyers. A lot of people got screwed like that.
Well, when it comes to touring, merchandising and touring is how a lot of artists do make their money. Now, if you own your masters, if you own your copyrights,
that's more money.
Yes, you're supposed to get, should we say percentages. But, we could have a whole separate speak to show about that.
Correct.
But the fact of the matter is that when the judge sets your bail or bond at $1 million, and all you need is 10%, and you, the artist, the person who needs this money, don't have it.
But see, that's the thing. A lot of people live a front. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You live this so-called lavish lifestyle, but you know what? How much money you owe. You know what I'm saying? You holding that R. Kelly front. You know what I'm saying? You tall, looking greasy. You know what I'm saying? Trying to look all slick. But then, really, when you check your pockets, there ain't nothing there. You check your ATM, it says 0.01. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
Reminds me, shout out to the Boondocks. Reminds me of an episode of the Boondocks. A pimp named Slickback.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, I remember that. And you had to say the whole name. It's like a Tribe Called Quest.
I remember that. Slickback.
Right, that's his whole name.
Right.
And he said it's like a Tribe Called Quest. Okay, you call it a Tribe Called Quest. Okay, I'm a pimp named Slimback. That's right. That was his whole name. It wasn't like, oh, here comes Slimback. No, it's a pimp named Slickback. Okay. Yes, I remember that episode very well. Yes.
I should be a pimp named Devil Tongue, but anyway.
Yeah, this thing is just a hot mess. And then to come across, now this is the part that is, I don't know, it's amusing, is that supposedly after the interview he got arrested.
Yes, he did.
Right?
And he got arrested for being in child support arrears. Now, here's the comical part to that.
Go.
They were after him anyway. Arresting him on child support seemed pretty simplistic, if that makes sense.
Well, no, my thing is this. Why'd you arrest him now for that when he is over like 6 figures in child support? So you should have got him at 20. You know what I'm saying? You should have got him at 20, maybe 15. Well, why are you waiting for 160?
Well, the whole idea was, and I'm going to take it back to Bill Cosby / Me Too movement.
Go.
They wanted him in jail, period. Because, okay, when Bill got arrested, yeah, Bill had the money to bond himself out. He did. But, of course, he was found guilty at his trial. R. Kelly, the bottom line is, once he had bonded out over the allegations, they wanted him jailed on something. And, again, the child support arrears, piece of cake. Can't fight it, can't argue it.
He dumb. That's all I can say. He dumb.
Well, unfortunately, he's not the only one, but
talking about the children.
The cheering.
I just want to wrap this up because we kind of all over the place. And since we're talking about the children, I want to talk about the kids who don't get their vaccinations. Because I was looking at the television at this child with, it's not really a child, but a young adult.
The cheering.
He was at Congress telling Congress about the need for vaccination, going against his parents who didn't want to get him vaccinated.
He's on Capitol Hill.
Now, here's my thing. What you say?
He was on Capitol Hill?
Yeah. Oh, yes, he was. He was on Capitol Hill. My thing is this. I know you have the right to vaccinate, not vaccinate your child. And a lot of y'all feel like vaccination brings on autism and stuff like that. And you know what? It is what it is. All right. And I get it.
Misinformed.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they be talking about. They be talking about autism brings. And I was like, really? Because then autism would have been really big in the 70s. But to make a long story short on this, because we have to wrap it up, I'm a big believer in it because I'm sick and tired of going through airports and then there's the big sign of someone going through with the measles, and then next thing you know, if I'm exposed to that person because they didn't want to get inoculated, so now, you know, you're exposing the greater public. You know, think about that next time when you're thinking about, you know, not vaccinating your child. Think about the diseases you're carrying. That's like rabies, okay? You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't know where or when we're going to meet the rabies animal, but you know what? We're going to come in contact somewhere. So, you know what? Think twice about that because, you know, it's really a pain in your butt when you have to be on your P's and Q's when you find out somebody has measles. You know, I mean, like, what's going to be next? Polio? Come on now.
Reminds me of that old reggae song. The most dangerous diseases.
You know? So I just want to wrap that up right there, okay? Because that kind of like, you know.
Anyway, Devil Tongue.
And Phantom Mother.
Oh, she remembered her name.
Yes, I did because you know what? It was just, you know.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
We'll podcast you again.
All right, next time.
The most dangerous diseases.